For centuries, a great yellow dragon has been creeping across northern China, not a mythical beast, but the relentless advance of the desert. This slow, silent force has shaped the lives of millions, transforming once thriving landscapes into seas of sand. The story of China's spreading deserts is not just about geography, but about the struggle between people and nature, and the resilience required to survive in the face of overwhelming odds. Vast seas of sand, like the Maowusu Desert, expanded year after year, swallowing villages and farmland. Families watched helplessly as their homes and fields disappeared beneath the dunes, their memories buried under layers of dust. The desert's reach seemed endless, stretching further with every passing season, leaving behind a trail of devastation and loss. Dust storms would block out the sun, forcing millions to abandon their homes. These storms, sometimes lasting for days, turned day into night and made breathing nearly impossible. The air would fill with grit, coating everything in a fine layer of sand, and entire communities would be forced to flee, seeking safety from the suffocating clouds. Fertile land turned barren, crops failed, and entire ecosystems vanished. Rivers dried up, wildlife disappeared, and the soil lost its life. What was once green and abundant became a wasteland, unable to support even the hardiest plants or animals. The loss was not just environmental, but deeply personal for those who depended on the land. The desert's advance felt unstoppable, a slow-motion disaster threatening both people and nature. Every year, the line between desert and farmland crept closer, and the sense of urgency grew. It was a battle fought not in a single moment, but over generations, as families struggled to hold back the sands. Traditional farming methods failed, and the land grew weaker each season. Farmers who had once relied on the rhythms of the earth now faced uncertainty and hardship. Their tools, once symbols of hope, lay abandoned as the soil turned to dust. The struggle to survive became more desperate with each passing year. The challenge, not just to halt the desert, but to reclaim lost land and restore life. It was a daunting task, requiring new ideas and unwavering determination. People began to experiment with planting trees, building windbreaks, and finding ways to bring water back to the parched earth. Every sapling planted was a small act of defiance against the desert's advance. This became a national priority, a fight for survival and the future. The government launched massive campaigns, mobilizing resources and people to combat desertification. Banners and slogans appeared across the countryside, urging everyone to join the effort. The fate of entire regions depended on the success of these initiatives. The solution wouldn't come from grand plans, but from the tireless efforts of ordinary people. Villagers, students, and workers all joined together, united by a common goal. Their hands planted millions of trees, and their determination began to turn the tide, little by little. Armed with simple tools and determination, they set out to tame the desert, one plant at a time. Each tree was a symbol of hope, a promise that the land could be healed. Through patience, hard work, and unity, they began to write a new chapter, one where the desert no longer wins. How do you stop a moving sea of sand? For centuries, deserts have been seen as unstoppable forces, vast, shifting landscapes that swallow everything in their path. The wind sculpts the dunes, erasing any trace of life or human effort. But what if there was a way to push back against this relentless tide, by fighting it with life? The answer lies not in resisting nature, but in working with it, using living things to anchor the sand and transform the landscape. The first step, burying straw and dead branches under the sand, to stabilize it and retain moisture. These simple materials act as a protective net, slowing the wind and giving fragile seedlings a chance to survive. Next, tough grasses were planted, resilient species whose roots gripped the sand and held it together. These plants are chosen for their ability to survive in harsh, dry conditions, and their roots weave a living web beneath the surface. These grasses formed a living shield, paving the way for more complex ecosystems. As the green barrier grew, it began to attract birds, insects, and other wildlife, slowly bringing the desert back to life. As the grasses decomposed, they enriched the sand, slowly turning it into soil. Over time, the once sterile dunes became capable of supporting even more plant life. This process, called ecological succession, was the foundation for transformation. Each stage prepared the land for the next, building a new ecosystem from the ground up. The method was simple, low cost, and required immense human effort. There were no machines, just determination, basic tools, and the will to change the land. Thousands of villagers and volunteers worked under harsh conditions, laying straw and planting by hand. Families, young and old, joined together, united by a vision of hope. Their belief, with enough effort, they could heal the land. Every seedling planted was a promise to the future, a testament to human resilience. The desert's advance was met with a green army, determined to bring life back. Through patience, persistence, and the power of nature, the battle against the sand had truly begun. In the heart of this struggle stands Yin Yuzhen, a woman whose life would become a testament to the power of perseverance and hope. Her journey is not just about survival, but about transforming the impossible into reality. Yin is a woman of remarkable determination, whose spirit refused to be broken by the harshest of environments. In 1985, at just 19 years old, she moved with her husband to a remote and desolate home in the Maowusu Desert, one of China's most unforgiving landscapes. The land was barren, the wind relentless, and the future uncertain. Surrounded by endless dunes and battered by frequent violent sandstorms, Yin faced daily challenges that would have driven most people to despair. But she refused to surrender to the desert's emptiness. Instead, Yin decided to fight back, by planting trees, one sapling at a time. She believed that even the smallest act could spark change. With little money and almost no outside support, she and her husband took on grueling manual labor jobs, saving every yuan they could to buy tree saplings. Each sapling represented a glimmer of hope for a better future. She carried heavy buckets of water for miles across the scorching sand, determined to keep the fragile young trees alive. Every day was a lesson in patience and resilience, as she learned from each setback and every failed attempt. Many of the trees withered and died under the harsh sun and dry winds, but Yin never gave up. Each year, she planted more, refusing to let failure define her efforts. Over the decades, her project grew from a handful of saplings to hundreds, then thousands, and eventually tens of thousands of trees. What began as a personal mission slowly became a movement, inspiring others in her community to join her cause. The barren landscape began to change. First, small patches of green appeared. Then, entire stretches of woodland and farmland emerged where there was once only sand. The transformation was slow but undeniable. Today, Yin Yuzhen has turned over 70,000 acres of desert into a thriving oasis, a living testament to her vision and hard work. Her efforts have not only changed the land, but also brought new life and hope to her community. Her story proves that one person's determination, fueled by hope and persistence, can truly change the world. Yin's legacy is a reminder that even the harshest challenges can be overcome with courage and unwavering resolve. She began with a simple dream: to see green in a world of endless yellow sand. That dream, once thought impossible, became her life's mission. Through years of sweat, sacrifice, and unwavering faith, Yin Yuzhen made that dream real, proving that even in the most desolate places, hope can take root and flourish. Turning desert into green isn't just about planting trees, it's a careful step-by-step process. First, straw grids stabilize the sand, followed by hardy grasses and shrubs like sand willow and sea buckthorn. These pioneers bind the sand, create ground cover, and reduce evaporation. Once established, fast-growing trees like poplar and pine are planted in rows to form windbreaks. These shelter belts protect the land, allowing more delicate plants to survive. Only after this foundation is set can fruit trees and crops be grown in the protected areas. This layered approach, grass, shrub, shelter tree, then fruit tree, mimics nature's own succession. The result, barren sand becomes productive land, supporting both agriculture and biodiversity. It's a patient, intelligent strategy, working with nature, not against it. This method has turned dead landscapes into living oases. As green pushed back the yellow, nature returned. Insects arrived first, followed by birds, then small mammals like rabbits and foxes. The ecosystem grew stronger. Plants provided food and shelter. Animals spread seeds and pollinated flowers. The land became a living sponge, holding water and cooling the air. Local rainfall increased, and the climate softened. The transformation was visible and audible, chirping birds, rustling leaves, and darting wildlife. People had not just planted trees, they resurrected an entire ecosystem. the yellow dragon was replaced by a vibrant green paradise. The greening of the desert brought new hope to local people. Once impossible farming became viable. Families grew crops and earned income. Yin Yuzhen's ranch, once barren, now thrives with organic millet and roses for essential oils. Ecological restoration became a profitable business, not just an environmental cause. Prosperity spread, better homes, education and infrastructure followed. Young people stayed, seeing a future in their revitalized communities. Tourism flourished as visitors came to witness the transformation. Jobs in agriculture, hospitality and guiding multiplied. The land that once drove people away now drew them back with opportunity. The harvest was not just crops, but a brighter, more stable future. Yin Yuzhen's story soon reached the world. Inspired by her, people like American Donald Ashton Jones joined her mission, planting thousands of trees. Volunteers from around the globe arrived, turning a local effort into an international movement. The Mawusu Project became a model for fighting desertification worldwide. Scientists and governments studied its methods: straw grids, phased planting, community action. Yin became an international icon, her story inspiring others to act. The seeds of hope she planted grew into a global forest of inspiration, her legacy proof that individual action can spark worldwide change. Yin Yuzhen's work is part of China's broader ecological transformation. National projects like the Great Green Wall have created vast forests, visible from space. China now accounts for a quarter of the world's new green areas. The country leads in renewable energy, with wind and solar capacity soaring. By 2024, renewables made up nearly 60% of China's power capacity. Ambitious targets aim for even more clean energy and forest growth by 2035. These efforts show that a healthy environment and strong economy can go hand in hand. The Mawusu story is a microcosm of this national movement. China's green dream is reshaping the country and helping the planet. The greening of the Mawusu Desert is a lesson for us all. It shows that even the toughest environmental challenges can be overcome with determination and cooperation with nature. Restoring land brought prosperity and hope, proving that a healthy planet is the foundation for healthy communities. The story is a call to action. Every small effort matters. Yin Yuzhen started with a few saplings. Her actions inspired thousands. The ripple effect changed a region and inspired the world. We are not just inhabitants, but caretakers of Earth. If we work together, we can heal the wounds we've inflicted. The lesson from China's sands: with patience and persistence, a greener, more hopeful future is possible.